Here you'll find a reminder of the Botswana students' request from Lesson 1 and the chance to listen to and read some of the Framingham Earl High School students' descriptions.
It's always been my dream for a picture of clear snow scene, so please, if you can do that for me.
We did our description of the sunset in the bush. You know, it would be nice if one of them could just sit at the sea and look out and try to make me feel what it feels like to sit out in the beach and the feelings and the smells and everything.
Maybe if they can go to their market and use their senses to describe the marketplace and send it to us, and we can see the difference comparison between our market and their market. It's probably better, but it's just want to see it anyway. I'm interested in your culture, so it was very fun to share with.
Just like you, we watched the DVD of the Botswana students reading and talking about their descriptive writing, using the techniques of macro, micro, sensory imagery and being aware of prepositions. Here's some of the descriptions we came up with.
And then, out of the corner of my eye, I see it, a perfectly cut diamond, falling from the heavens. It is followed by another, and then another, and then another. A quarry explodes in the sky, as a rush of joy soars through me. The unexplainable ecstasy forces out all doubts and fears of the world. It is snowing.
Slowly, I pull open the weighty curtains, and, as they part, the cold behind them hits me hard, and its icy grip holds me for a second. I shiver and breathe heavily onto the window. The heat from inside my body remains for a minute on the chilled glass, and then gradually dissipates, allowing me to see the scene outside.
Task. Pause the DVD, read pages 5 and 6, and complete the activities.
It can be difficult to know where to begin when writing a description. Your opening sentences and paragraphs are very important as they set the scene and need to capture the reader's or examiner's imagination. You can use a number of techniques to begin your description of a place.
First, you have to decide on where to start by focusing on the whole place or just a small part of it. Compare the approaches in these two descriptions of a traditional village in Botswana. See if you can locate the imagery and techniques used. Can you identify which are metaphors and which are similes?
As I sat on the hill and looked out over the sprawling village coming to life, the hot fingers of the sun's rays started to feel their way across the land. Spirals of blue smoke began to drift lazily into the still morning air as a sign that the village was just waking up. From where I sat, the small rendezvous huts looked like neatly ordered mushrooms that had sprouted between the orderly mud walls of the compounds and the mofane trees.
From the cobweb of wrinkles around her watery eye and the glint of knowledge that shone from them, it was obvious that Markisanyi had led a full life. Now, as she sat beneath the lone marula tree in her compound, the village of Serawi began to come to life. The sun's rays were feeling their way across the land. The spirals of blue smoke began to drift upwards from the newly kindled fires.
I went to the marketplace with Miss Keekoff and learned the techniques of macro and micro. Using the camera helped me to write this piece of descriptive text. I gazed in amazement as the lady struggled to open the shell. The colours were just shining back at me, dazzling in the sunlight. It was then when I heard a rough voice shouting in a Norfolk broad accent, "Oi ye, where's that oyster come from? It better be fresh."
The desolate cries of the distant seagulls are the only sound in the vast empty sky. Their owners of these mournful voices appear overhead as flashing grey shapes, swooping and diving. Their dance weaves intricate patterns through the still evening air until they return to earth, ungainly and awkward. The silvery sky merges into the sea, surrounding everything in a hollow greyness. Irregular white ridges form on the water, briefly separating the two spaces until they melt away. As suddenly as they came, a foam-tipped wave rolls smoothly onto the shore, causing a minute frothy bubbles to cascade onto the sand. As the water retreats, the foam is left stranded, crackling slightly as it dissolves into nothing. The rhythmically lapping waves tug persistently at the stones and shells, trapped in the shielding sand, washing around them until their hold is loosened and they are sucked away into the hostile ocean.
I think that similes are important in a piece of creative writing because they add emphasis to the point.
An example of a simile came running out of her bedroom like a whirlwind, as used in Maddie Reeves' descriptive writing.
Personification is a technique that is used to make pieces of work more interesting. When you personify something, it makes it sound human.
Sensory description can be used in a number of ways to show what is happening in the scene. By doing this, the reader gets a more accurate description of the situation.
I opened my story with a description so I could create atmosphere.
I'm just going to read you a short piece from the work, and hopefully you'll see many of the techniques featured in the book used in my writing.
Excellent.
A light flickered on and off in the corner of the shop window, its dim light illuminating the corridors of what is a shopping centre late at night. Row upon row of chairs sat expectantly, waiting to be used. Their accompanying tables still smelt of fresh lemons from the multi-purpose cleaner that had been applied to their pearly white surfaces hours before. Their air hung thick and musty, parched of life, without the luxuries of air conditioning that were used throughout the day. Finally dying, the flickering light stopped, and the hazy dream world of the shopping centre at night was thrown into total darkness. Hey, I just got my English mock exam results back, and thanks to the Weaving Words project, I did great!
Read all of Maddie Reeves' description, which she has developed into a story on pages 9 and 10 of the resource book. Polish up your own descriptions by proofreading and editing. Study pages 7 and 8 to get ideas.